Hello, today I'm going to show you the difference between expand and expand appearance. Let's draw a simple rectangle. We can see that this rectangle has a yellow fill and a brown stroke. I'm going to increase the stroke's weight to 100 points so you can see it better. Now we can modify the stroke. For example, change the corners to round join or apply a dashed line. Let's undo it. Because it is a single object, we can't separate the stroke from the fill. To visualize it better, let's open the Layers panel. Right now we can see there is only one single object, the rectangle. This, however, can change if we choose the Expand option. Before we can expand an object, first we have to make sure it is selected. We can either click on the object directly or select it from the Layers panel. The blue square next to the layer indicates that the object is selected. Now let's go to Object and choose Expand. The dialog box will open and the options that we can expand will be highlighted. In this case, we can expand the fill and the stroke. As soon as we click OK, Illustrator changes the rectangle layer into a group layer. When we open this group, we will see two separate sublayers. The top compound path, which is the brown object that used to be a stroke, and the bottom one, which is the yellow rectangle. Now we can select the yellow rectangle and, using the Direct Selection tool, move it to the side to separate it from the rest. This can be useful if we want to create other objects from the stroke's profile, for example. It can be much faster to use this method instead of creating a rectangle, copying it, offsetting the path, and using Pathfinder option to remove the center part. Now we can edit it like any other object. Move a single anchor point, round one or all corners, or invert them. Our next example is a rectangle with a black stroke and a gradient fill. If we choose to expand this object, we will get an extra option of expanding the gradient as well. We can expand gradient to Gradient Mesh or specify objects. Let's choose the Gradient Mesh option. This time, when we open the sublayers in this group, we will have a compound path layer, which is the black shape, and a clip group layer that consists of a rectangle and mesh. A rectangle in this case acts like a clipping mask. With the mesh layer selected, we can go over to our gradient and use it as we would with any other mesh object. Click on any of the diamond-shaped mesh points and use the handles to adjust the mesh. Let's undo everything and go back to the Expand Options window. The second option allows us to set the tolerance for color values between color stubs. Higher numbers help maintain a smooth color transition, and lower numbers can create stripes effect. Let's change the Specify Object's value to 100. You will notice we've got one compound path, which is the black shape on top, and a clip group layer, which consists of 100 long and narrow rectangles that created the gradient. We can choose any of these paths and modify it. like change the color, for example. Let's undo it. If we change the specify object's value to a lower number, we will get stripe-like effect. Next, we will take a look at the expand appearance function. Here we have a rectangle with a blue stroke and a yellow fill. This time we will add an effect to it. Go to Effect, Stylize and choose Drop Shadow. When we open the Layers panel, we can see just one single rectangle object. Let's expand this object. Select Object from the tab. You will notice that the Expand option is not available. That's because we've changed the appearance of our rectangle by adding a drop shadow effect to it. If the Expand option is grayed out, choose the Expand appearance option instead. Let's open the rectangle sublayers. You will notice we've got a new layer called Image. The image here represents the drop shadow effect we've added. Now we can select this drop shadow effect and separate it from the rest. Above the image layer, we've got this group layer that wasn't expanded. Our object still has a stroke and a fill. To expand everything, make sure the group layer is selected. Go back to Object and choose Expand. Click OK. Now everything is expanded and we can separate all the attributes that created the appearance of this rectangle. The stroke, the fill, and the shadow. Next, I will show you another example what Expand appearance can do. Here we have a simple heart shape. Let's drag it into the Brushes panel to create a scatter brush. Let's change all the options to Random. Then swap the fill and the stroke and apply this new brush. Now we can adjust all the values and apply this brush to our stroke. When we create a brush, Illustrator automatically generates lots of vector shapes that are sized, scattered, spaced, rotated, and tied them into the path. Now watch what will happen if we select the Expand Appearance option. Before we do this, it is a good idea to create a copy of the existing path and place it on a separate layer in case we decide to change it later. Let's lock it and turn off its visibility. Now, with the tab path selected, go to Object and choose Expand Appearance. You will notice that the tab path is no longer a path, and we've got this group in its place. Our copy below still remains as a path though. When we open the sublayers of this group, you will notice we've got lots of vector objects that are organized into groups. To choose a single vector shape, either select one of the subgroups or switch to the Direct Selection tool and click on a desired shape. Now we can modify it, move, rotate, change color, and so on. Unfortunately, after we expand an object, we can't go back and edit the path later. Let me show you one more example. This time we will choose one of the preset brushes. Let's select the brush tool and draw a line. I'm going to increase the stroke's weight so you can better see the details. And like before, with the path selected, We will go to Object and choose Expand Appearance. You will notice that our path was changed into a group with a couple subgroups. Now we can select individual shapes and modify it. Let's say we would like to create a new brush with a yellow color instead of green. First select both green shapes, apply yellow, select everything, open the Brushes panel and create a new pattern brush. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.